So the president last night was talking to the Congressional Black Caucus, and this comes amidst a lot of news about his relationship to the Congressional Black Caucus, the African-American base specifically. There's polling out. I'm going to look at this poll, and then we'll get his clip. Polling out showing that the support among African-Americans was strongly favorable in April was 83%, and it's down to 58% in September. And this is the president. This is what he had to say last night to the Congressional Black Caucus.
I don't know about you, CBC, but the future rewards those who press on. With patient and firm determination, I'm going to press on for jobs. I'm going to press on for equality. I'm going to press on for the sake of our children. I'm going to press on for the sake of all those families who are struggling right now. I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to complain. I'm going to press on. I expect all of you to march with me and press on. Take off your bedroom slippers. Put on your marching shoes. Shake it off. Stop complaining. Stop grumbling. Stop crying. We are going to press on. We've got work to do. CBC.
So, John, I wanted to show you, one of our segment producers, Todd, highlighted this last night, and I wanted to show this to you because I thought it was a great catch. All right, this is the verbate. This is the text of that address as reported by Politico. Do we have the Politico one first? This is him. Do we have it? There it is. All right, so you see it. You have to stop complaining, stop grumbling, stop crying. We are going to press on. We have work to do. Now, this is how the AP transcribed that same section. We have that. Shake it off, stop complaining, apostrophe, stop grumbling, apostrophe, stop crying, apostrophe. Wow. We're going to press on. We have work to do. John, what is your takeaway from this different kind of interpretive transcription?
Frankly, the people who are trying to put the G back on don't understand that the G-less version is actually the correct one, because Barack Obama won the election for president partly on the basis of the fact that he can switch into that dialect. Can you imagine somebody who wasn't him trying to get away with the beautiful "yes, we can" line? You have to say "yes, we can" with that inflection, that kind of MLK summoning.
But it wasn't a dropping of the G. I mean, I think it's inherently racist to do something like that, and I think that for you to sit here and defend it as if it's cool, you know, when you know what they were doing, to me is almost, you know, offensive.
No, the drop G means that it's Black English, which is becoming America's youth lingua franca. It's not improper English. It's a different kind of English. And America, including non-Black America, loves that way of speaking. This is the America of hip-hop, etc. When he, quote-unquote, drops his G's, when he uses that inflection, all of it is a Black English package. It makes him sound genuine. It makes him sound warm. It makes people listen. I wish that he would talk more that way while he's on the trail this week trying to push the jobs bill.
The one thing I love about this president is that he does the right things at the right time. He knew who his audience was, and that's what he said.
Right, that's code switching.
And that's what he does. But for them to do that in a publication, you know what that is. And it's not acceptable on any level. I teach a journalism class, and I tell my students to fix people's grammar because you don't want them to sound ignorant, right? And for them to do that, it's code, and I don't like it.
I don't think it looks that ignorant today. I would understand what you were saying if it were, say, 1950, 1960, but that dialect
Have you been watching what's going on?
Relationship.
He's not agnostic on this.
I know it's immediately. Chris looked at me and you as, you know.
No. I mean,
Barack Obama has professorial credentials. I don't think that a little bit of leaving off a G is going to make people think, well, apparently he's some sort of unlettered thug after all. It's a seasoning.
But that's what is being projected.
You think that's being certain places. You think that's? But I actually, so I can go both ways on this, and I see.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just listening.
Well, I think it's
You're a politician now. You got to be careful.
I think it sounded real.
Here's what I think here's what I think is fascinating, is because so much of the centrality of the appeal of Barack Obama is precisely, I think, the ability, as you stated, to actually speak in a variety of sort of American tones. I mean, he can speak in different vernacular tones, and he doesn't sound like that when he is in front of Congress. In front of Congress, he does not sound like that
in Iowa.
In Iowa, exactly. I mean, but he does sound like that in front of the CBC. Right. And so the question is, journalistically, to press you on this point, does it not give a more accurate flavor of the speech if you do not have the video to transcribe it in the way the AP did?
Why should we hide the code switching in print? That's a genuine question. He switches.
I personally believe to do that undermines the power of this man is probably one of the most intelligent presidents we've had, and I would say since Jimmy Carter. Because that would get him in trouble. But to do that, it is something's very ignorant about putting it's like Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finish, and I don't like it. And I think when we have a black president, which we've never had before, that we should be in the media super sensitive to that.
And there is a certain baggage that comes with that, and which I want to be quiet.
We have no pride in our native dialect. I just realized the next book that I have to write. Yes, the dialect that is native to our people.
It's not your native dialect.
It is.
I've never heard you speak like that.
It's the dialect
anywhere.
that is native to most black American people and should be, and it's something that should be a badge of pride. And instead, we always think of it as a matter of
the whole show in that dialect, John, so that we can get a flavor for it.
We're talking about code switching, and so there's formal, there's informal, there's mostly white, there's mostly black, and you can do both. We are in a rather formal context, and most of us are not black, and so this is not the context. That doesn't mean that when you do it, you're doing something wrong. And I wish that we could have more pride in the dialect, as black people 100 years ago tended to more than we do now. I think it's good that he can do that.
Because this man is being judged too often based on his race, I think to do something like that in print just furthers piles, it puts him in that place. And I think that it's not really proper. And as a journalist, former journalist, I don't really ascribe to being a journalist anymore because I'm just kind of sad with where journalism is. But
well, thanks a lot. It's great to have you on our show.
Some of my best friends are journalists.
Well played, Jefferson.
Where are you running for mayor? I might move to your town. But I just think that it's wrong.